Hello and welcome to British English with me, Alexandre. This is Learning English from Zero, that sort of channel from YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about a recent news article from BBC. It's been collected from bbc.com/news/UK, and it's about politics. It's a really updated news article about things that are happening in the world. Okay, so without any further ado, let's go straight into that. So here we've got this article, and the headline says, Rwandan president. Please, I invite you, before we start it, to subscribe to the channel to help it grow and show people, English learners, English lovers, that it is really possible to learn English and become fluent in English, even proficient in English, by studying English like that. Okay, let's get started. So the headline says here, Rwandan President Paul Kagame suggests UK could get money back. This article has been updated 18 minutes ago. It's about Prime Minister's questions. So we've got here the headline. Here it says, watch to observe. In an exclusive BBC video, sorry about that, President Kagame offered to return UK taxpayers' money if no refugees enter Rwanda. Let's hear it out.
Sorry, excuse me, sorry. Sorry, guys.
BBC,
Thank you.
President Kagame, is the
BBC, President Kagame, is the UK deal working? Listen out.
UK deal working?
Sorry, guys.
BBC,
Thank you.
President Kagame, is the UK deal working?
Ask UK.
The Supreme Court said that your country's not working.
Ask UK.
Ask UK. It says, ask the UK.
The Supreme Court said that your country...
The Supreme Court said,
The Supreme Court said that your country's not safe. Is it...
that your country's not safe. The Supreme Court said that your country's not safe. The Supreme Court said that your country's not safe. Is it safe for refugees? He's gonna say.
safe for refugees?
Ask
Safe for refugees?
UK.
Not safe. Is it safe for refugees?
Is it safe for refugees? He's asking the president, the reporter.
Ask UK. It is UK.
Ask the UK. It is the UK's problem, not Rwanda's problem.
This problem, not Rwanda's problem.
But you're getting hundreds of millions
But you're getting hundreds of millions
of UK taxpayers' money.
of UK taxpayers' money. But you're getting hundreds of millions of UK taxpayers' money
With not a single refugee.
with not a single refugee.
It is going to be used on those
It's going to be used, the president replies. It's going to be used
people who will come.
on those people.
If they don't come,
If they don't come,
we can return the money.
we can return the money.
Might be no... Okay.
Okay. That's it. It's a short piece of speech. So let's go through the article now. Learning how English is spoken differently from the way it's written. Rwanda's president, Paul Kagame, has said he could return money to the UK if no asylum seekers are sent to his country under his deal with the government. The UK, the United Kingdom, has paid £240 million to Rwanda, with a further £50 million to come. So far, no asylum seekers have been sent to the country. Asked why he was taking the money, Mr. Kagame said, "It's only going to be used if those people will come. If they don't come, we can return the money." It comes as Rishi Sunak faces a crucial Commons vote on his Rwanda bill. The Prime Minister claims his plan to deport some asylum seekers to Rwanda will be a deterrent to migrants seeking to travel across the channel in small boats. But Labour says it's an expensive gimmick, something that doesn't work, that won't work properly, and that they would scrap the policy if they win the general election. Mr. Sunak is also facing opposition from some of his own Tory MPs, who say the legislation is not tough enough and the government should be prepared to defy international law to get deportation flights off the ground, to send people back to Rwanda, to send Rwandans back to their country. Basically, it's what it says here. UK's problem, not Rwanda's problem, as the president has just said. MPs are due to vote on proposed changes to the legislation on Wednesday evening, and on whether the bill as a whole should progress to its next stage in the House of Lords. The government appears to be confident of winning the vote, despite a major rebellion by right-wing Tory MPs on Tuesday evening. The BBC's economics editor Faisal Islam grabbed a brief interview with Paul Kagame on the margins of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The president did not clarify how much of the money he could return to the UK or when. Asked about the current political and legal obstacles around the deal with his country, Mr. Kagame said that it is not Rwanda's problem. Ask the UK. It is the UK's problem, not Rwanda's problem, he added. Labour's Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves welcomed Mr. Kagame's offer to refund the money and pledged to put it towards processing asylum cases and cracking down on the criminal gangs that are at the heart of these. Speaking in Davos, she said, that would be a much better use of the money and would have a much greater chance of success in controlling the small boat crossings that we absolutely need to do. If Rwanda breaks the terms of its contract with the UK government, it would have to give the money back proportionately, depending on where we are in the financial year, the top civil servant at the Home Office told a select committee in December. But, added Sir Matthew Rycroft, if we break it, they keep it. Lost asylum seekers. Labour says the Rwanda scheme will eventually cost UK taxpayers £400 million. And here we've got another speech, this time from Sir Keir Starmer. It says here, what? Sir Keir Starmer asks the PM about lost contact with the people due to be sent to Rwanda. Watch it with me together.
Mr. Speaker, the government has been forced to...
Mr. Speaker, the government has been forced, again,
Mr. Speaker, the government has been forced to admit
the government has been forced to admit
that it has
that it has
lost contact
lost contact
with 85%.
with 85%, again,
It has lost contact with 85% of the 5,000 people
of the 5,000 people, of the 5,000 people
of the 5,000 people earmarked for removal
earmarked
to Rwanda. 5,000 people earmarked for removal
to go back to Rwanda.
to Rwanda. Has he found them yet?
Has he found them yet? He asks the Prime Minister, has he found them yet? And everybody goes laughing.
Mr. Speaker.
Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, is that man here the person that the Prime Minister is talking to, referring to?
What I can tell the
Mr. Speaker, what I can tell,
Mr. Speaker, what I can tell the honourable gentleman is that
the honourable gentleman, what I can tell to the honourable gentleman.
Speaker, what I can tell the honourable gentleman is that what I can tell
the honourable gentleman
is that in spite of him blocking Mr. Speaker, what I can tell the honourable gentleman is that in spite of him blocking every single attempt that we have taken,
he says, that we have taken, again,
every single attempt that we have taken, we have managed now because of our action we have taken, we have managed now because of our actions to reduce the number of people
to reduce the number of people
coming here by over
coming here. He refers to the country, UK,
a third last year. The number of people coming here by over a third
over a third
last year. Reduce the number of people coming here by over a third
last year.
The number of people coming here by over a third last year. Remove over 20,000 people.
Remove over 20,000 people.
Remove over 20,000 people from this country. Remove over 20,000 people from this country back to their home countries.
They removed people back to their home countries.
Carried out 70% from this country back to their home countries. Carried out 70% more illegal enforcement.
Carried out more than 7%
countries. Carried out 70% more
7% more
illegal enforcement rates.
illegal enforcement grades.
to their home countries, carried out 70% more illegal enforcement raids, arrested hundreds of people.
Arrested hundreds of people. Arrested hundreds of people. Smugglers.
Closed down thousands.
Closed down. Closed down.
Enforcement raids, arrested hundreds of people, closed down thousands of bank accounts, arrested hundreds of people, closed down thousands of bank accounts.
Closed down thousands of bank accounts. Closed down thousands of bank accounts.
People closed down thousands of bank accounts and processed over
and processed over 100,000 and processed over 100,000
and processed over 100,000 cases, the biggest
cases
and processed over 100,000 cases, the biggest number in over 20 years.
The biggest number in over 20 years.
Biggest number in over 20 years, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
20 years, Mr. Speaker. That's because on this side
of the house.
We want to stop the. That's because on this side of the.
That's because on this side of the house.
We want to stop the boats. We have a.
We want to stop the boats. We want to stop the boats.
This side of the house. We want to stop the boats. We have a plan.
We have a plan. We have a plan.
It's working, and with him, we would just go back. We want to stop the boats. We have a plan. It's working, and with him, we would just go back to.
They have a plan, and it's working.
Have a plan. It's working,
it's working.
And with him, we would.
And with him.
Just go back to square one. To stop the boats, we have a plan, it's working, and with him we would just go back to square one.
And with him we'll just go back to square one. To go back to square one means that you have to start from the beginning again because things haven't been successful. So he says, with him we will go back to square one. We're gonna have to start from the beginning. And it finishes. And they go, yeah, sort of hating him. Okay, now let's go back with the reading of this news article. At Prime Minister's questions, Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer claimed the government had lost contact with more than 4,000 people it had lined up for removal to Rwanda. It follows a Daily Telegraph story citing Home Office documents saying that only 700 of the original 5,000 people earmarked for deportation are in regular contact with officials. Spending 400 million pounds on a plan not to get anybody to Rwanda whilst losing 4,000 people is not a plan. It's a farce, said Sir Keir. Only this government can waste hundreds of millions of pounds on a removals policy that doesn't remove anyone. Mr. Sunak defended the government's record on immigration before adding, it's a bit rich to hear him in here pretending that he cares about how we actually stop the boats, when he's been crystal clear and said that even if the plan is working to reduce the numbers, he would still scrap it. It's because he has no values, no conviction, and no plan. And it's back to square one, as I've already explained. And we've just reached the end of that news article from BBC. Now, please, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, English learners, English speakers all over the world who want to improve their vocabulary, their fluency in English. I really think that by this way, you can improve your vocabulary by reading things out loud. is a really effective way that I've just discovered myself. When you read an English article, for example, a news article from BBC which is very good English, especially when it comes to parliamentarian news, it's a really effective way of improving your English and increasing your vocabulary in terms of British English. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel, enjoy it, and thank you so much for taking your time. Cheers. Bye.